So, come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Yes, how we doing? Happy Friday to you here at Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains. We are in the Western Collective Studios. Make sure you check out a Horseshoe Golden Ale and Orange Chaos Seltzer at your next time you're at Extra Mile Arena or any of your major local retailers as well. And they're hosting that watch party for the Fiesta Bowl, so make sure you check that out. We got two special guests today with Christmas. No show on Wednesday. Brad Bedell. Brad wanted to get paid this week, so he demanded he came on a show a different day, and we made it work on Friday with Jay Tust. Jay, Brad, how we doing, guys?
Phenomenal. I don't tell you, Christmas, New Year's, Fiesta Bowl, for crying out loud, let's roll.
Brad, you probably missed a lot of holidays, Christmases, preparing for bowl games and things. I know that was a big topic this last couple of weeks, but the schedule worked out nicely. The players got a couple of days off. Coaches, I'm sure, got quote-unquote time off. We're still probably, game planning and watching iPads in between wrapping presents. But what do you make of the getting a couple of days off to kind of regroup and then get back in town last night and gear up for this thing?
Yeah, I mean, they did. They got a lot of time off. You sporadically practice, right? But they're going to lift and run and do that type of thing. But I think a majority of the players decided to stay here in Boise. I mean, that's a quick turnaround. One, two, I'd be like, if you miss the flight, I don't know. I'm gonna strictly kill you. I think. It's just there's more important things. I mean, I know Christmas is cool. Hey, it's awesome, but you're gonna get Christmas next year. You may not get the Fiesta Bowl, right? You got to do things now. Tell mom, dad, the presents will be at some point, but I got a game to get ready for. But I mean, it's like such a quick. Let me think about the turnaround right there. The 23rd, you get to the 24th, the 5th, you got to come back the 6th. I mean, is that really worth it? I mean, some kids it is.
Well, Jay, we saw Matt Lauder, who looked like was ready to take a nap doing his post-game interview or as a press conference yesterday. He had woke up, Brad, at 4 a.m. Florida time. He went all the way to Gainesville, Florida to see his family for 2 days. Flew back yesterday from Florida and was getting ready for practice. But so I guess it's mixed, Jay, that he probably enjoyed the family time, but he didn't look like he was enjoying that travel day yesterday.
Yeah, that was a long day for him, man. That's a long ways to go, as Brad was saying, for just a couple of days. But hey, I guess Spencer preached that he's going to give coaches and players a little bit of autonomy, and it sounds like the players really appreciated it. Some of them stayed closer. I mean, Maddox Madsen's really from just down the road. He said he went home, but at the same time, he never stopped thinking about the Fiesta Bowl. So,
right.
I think they're still dialed and focused.
Brad, Dylan Riley's dad, one of our best ever guests, when he popped on the pregame show there at the Mountain West Championship game, he is watching and says, good morning, guys, from Dylan Riley's dad. We need to get that merchandise that he had there, Brad. We need to find out a way to get that merchandise going. But that was a great guest. We appreciate you for jumping on. All right, the rest, though, guys, I want to get your take on this. Brad is a coach and player, and Jay on the other side here, as we were talking to guys and stuff. I mean, mixed reviews, I guess you could say, or mixed thoughts yesterday on the rest, and if it's a good thing or a bad thing yesterday. Let's hear first from Dirk Cutter. Jay, you asked the first question. Brad, this is Dirk Cutter when asked how big the 3-week rest for Ashton Jeanty is going to be going into the Fiesta Bowl.
Meant to Ashton. He's having 3 weeks off or whatever.
Yeah, I think you guys are making too big a deal over that. That's just my opinion. You asked me, I told you.
What's advantageous about having all that time off, other than maybe healing physically?
No, I don't think there is probably. I think most teams this time of the year that are playing well, which I think if you're winning games, you're playing well. I think most teams that are playing well would rather play than rest. I mean, the time off scares me more than I think it helps us, with a couple of exceptions. There's a couple of guys injury-wise. Mason Randolph, for example, that if we wouldn't have had the time off, we probably wouldn't have had a chance to get him back.
What is it about the downtime? Is it just getting out of a rhythm? Or?
Yeah, going against your scout team every day is different than going against any real team, let alone a team that's as good as Penn State. I mean, so the speed difference, and then, just time off. It's been a really good schedule that Coach Danielson put together, as far as, giving guys time off for Christmas, giving guys enough time to get their bodies back. But that's just me personally. I'd rather keep playing, but that's just me.
What do you think of that, Brad? The time off versus staying sharp and keep playing.
I mean, I think he's talking about two whole different situations, and he kind of blended them all together. As the offensive coordinator, you're playing really well, and you just want a championship and all that. You want to keep the rhythm of your offense flowing, and when you're doing that, that actually helps. Trust me, offensive coordinators want to keep the rhythm of the play calling flowing, and so I think that's where I would agree with him in a sense of, absolutely, let's keep this rhythm of this offense going, because you can't practice versus 330 interior and a top 5 defensive end pick. Now, then he goes to the health things. So what's more important? I personally think I would rather have Mason Randolph as a starting center and a healthy Jeanty than a banged up Jeanty and a non-Mason Randolph going into the Fiesta Bowl versus maybe I think they're the top 10 in rush defense. So I would rather sacrifice a little bit of, we can get back into flow. I think that's going to be an important part of this game. It's just, I want the guys healthy to play that I think can win us the game. That's my opinion.
I think the opinions of, you correct me if I'm wrong here, Brad, but the opinions of coaches and probably most players can even differ on this topic, because I think as a coach, especially coaching college kids, like you want them in the rhythm, because that prevents distractions and things like that, right? The moment that you do let them go, anything can happen. They're college kids, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On the flip side of that, you hear Ashton. We asked him basically the same thing. Like, his eyes lit up. Like, it was he loved the downtime, and went as far as saying that this is the best he's felt since the season opener.
Right. And I mean, it's a running back. I don't want to disrespect any running backs, but duo's duo. Inside zone's inside zone. Right? I mean, the most important thing for tailback is blitz pickup. Things like that. Are they fancy? Are they exotic? Are they, those types of things? Other than that, you would rather have fresh horses run fast races. And that's what you got to have when you're going into an opponent that wants to line up and physically beat you to death. And that's Penn State. And I still believe in this. This is a better matchup than SMU that can flat out fly. And I know everyone say SMU is terrible. Well, no, they threw 3 picks. Hate to tell you this, but if Penn State throws 3 picks to Boise State's going to win by 21. That's just the nature of the beast. Don't give me that crap.
I actually love what Dirk said about that yesterday too, because I thought it while watching the game, but to hear it from a guy like you or a guy like Dirk, it validates it a little bit more. But you watch the first 2 picks were like, those were self-inflicted. Like it wasn't much that Penn State did there. The guy Jennings just threw the ball right to the defense, and then they housed it the other direction, right? So I do think that as good as Jennings was, he definitely did not have his best day against Penn State. And some of it was what Penn State did. Some of it was also self-inflicted, maybe playing in 20-degree weather for the first time. I don't know. But either way, some of those mistakes that he made, he's probably going back and even looking at it today being like, man, what was I doing right there?
Dirk kind of put him in a body bag too, because he was like, yeah, Bill Parcells only said you can lose the game more than you can win it or whatever. And he's like, whatever he said. And he's like, yeah, he definitely made some plays to lose them that game.
You lose more games than you win.
Yes.
Right.
Essentially
sure. And the other thing is if I'm SMU just said, screw it, we're just not going to run the football. Like they went in like, okay, you guys have beaten us. We're not going to run the football. Okay, then so you're going to leave it on the kid who's got, 9 starts in the course of a year to put the ball in his hand and act like he's Tom Brady to go win him the first round of the college football playoff? And I don't, trust me, Lashley's a great football coach. But there's a style of offense that he runs that's not conducive to that type of play. Now, I mean, this is why that's why I like the Penn State deal. I do. But the other thing is with Penn State is it's already here. These dumbasses continuing to say, who is Boise State? Keep playing the narrative. Trust me, I don't know if the dude's listening who played in the Big Ten says he watched 3 games of Boise State football. You got him figured out, bud. You got him. And then the other guy jumped on my butt. He didn't say that. I said, well, he did, but then he called me soft. So that's the point we're getting to this game now. It's like if you say one bad thing about this team, you're soft. If you say one thing about this team, you guys stink. And I get it. It's perfect. It's just I want to go back to what Jay said. As the coach, you're worried about the whole thing. As a player, he's like, I'm fresh. You're going to hand me the ball, and we're going to go win. There's a different level of confidence with a player. They think they're going to beat everybody. As the coach, you're worrying about all the things that could go wrong rather than what can go right. Because the things that could go wrong can lose you a football game, right? If everything's going right, you're going to win it anyway. So it's like, okay, what's the future problem? Is there a problem that's going to be had at some point in the game that I had better get fixed? So you better be thinking ahead about a problem that's going to happen in a game that could lose us the game, to be quite honest with you. But I also think that you can, in 10 days, which I think this is the break, right? Penn State's had 10 days. Okay, you can only put so many wrinkles back in a team in 10 days. When you're practicing as long as Boise State has, you can add slight wrinkles that Penn State's never seen before. And guys, I don't go to practice. I haven't been to practice. I don't involve myself in that. You can even ask these guys. I don't know anything. But I do know this, that you can find subtle tweaks defensively, pressure-wise, that can really expose Penn State. You can expose some things, and now you're digging into everything, some rinks in your play action game or your run game that can cause some big problems. Now Penn State's going to have to get it figured out. And now I think that's a big thing, is you can get a little, I mean, You gave Coach Harsin, Coach Peterson, Coach Huck, you give those guys that much time. You're not telling me that there's some plays that are about to come out. And for personnel wise, Dirk Cutter has made his whole career in the National Football League. He'll tell you this, he's got to worry about all pro defensive ends. There's going to be a plan. And that's the thing about it, is like, that's where his benefit comes in of like, oh my God, this is how we attacked Dwight Freeney. I mean, this is how I want to do it. And so, you know, I think that's going to be so important in just digging in the film. And then, you know, Coach Collins is not too far off of Penn State. So I don't think that's going to help you in the whole schematic thing, but I think that he can give personnel things like, this is what he's really good at. This is what he's struggled with in the past. And as you're watching film, you're like, he's right. He's struggling with this. The corner struggles with double moves, or they get real handsy on deep routes. So I think those are little things within the game that they can go into the game to help them and make Penn State burn the chalkboard, knowing they have to fix these things when more things are going to become a problem. I love that about this game.
As I was kind of watching the SMU game, Bedell, you know, I think you're right. Kind of like their game plan going in, like to throw it a lot. It was interesting because it really allowed those you know, NFL caliber defensive ends just to kind of pin their ears back at times, which you got to slow those guys down. But the way the game went too, like, how much do you read into the way Penn State played and what they put on film, just because they were up 14-0 on pick sixes? Like, I don't know. Is there another game you probably got to go back to find more of a rhythm in what they do?
I always like to go. I would go back to the Ohio State game. What caused Penn State problems? And you can't just put in that offense. Like, you could kind of say, hey, you know, we do this, but we kind of do it this way. So can we find a way to open up the passing game in bunch formations? Okay, we know Penn State struggles in bunch formations, but Ohio State just got them on these 4 plays all game. How are we going to get to that within our system? And I think the one thing is you can't, you can't go in there scared to play Penn State because you don't think you're going to run the football. We can't. If Boise State has to throw this game 40 times a game, guys, there's going to be some serious disappointment.
Right, but with what Boise State does, you would say that against anybody, though. Not just
exactly. No, I would agree with 100%. But it also, I think you can have an opportunity to shorten the game. The other thing is, like, you know, SMU is, you know, we're gonna tempo. It doesn't help you in some sense. It actually hurts you. You know, I work for some really good tempo guys, and their philosophy is get the first down, and then we can increase the tempo, because that's giving the defense enough time to rest, enough time to make, you know, some changes that they need to make, and then we can go. Where Boise can huddle and shorten the game, and I don't think Penn State's offense is lighting it up right now. I mean, you got to stop the tight end. He's going to be everywhere. He is a legitimate problem.
Yeah.
You got to do some things with him that they do a little different, is they put him all over the field. So you don't know where he's going to be all the time. And that's going to take some creativity. That's going to take somebody up in the box tracking. Okay, he's at wideout. He's at quarterback. He's at normal home position. He's here every time they motion him. You know, it's just going to take a lot of deep dive film wise, because once again, you're not going to change what got you here. So you just got to track where he's at, and it's already done. PFF does it for you. All you need to do is log in and go number 44, Penn State. Give me all of his alignments. They track it for you. I mean, if you pay for it, it's really helpful. And I know who pays for it.
Jay does.
Yeah. What do you make of being an offensive line guy? In all, I can't tell you, especially from the Penn State media, how many questions were about these fierce pass rushers and the defensive line, Is this the best defensive line you faced all year? And I mean, you want to talk about bulletin board material for the team, but this Boise State offensive line seems to have plenty of it themselves. So how are you using that as an offensive line coach going into this matchup?
The players know it too, right? So the players are going to see how good their defensive end is, number 11. Okay. So now you got to immediately go in there. Okay, this is the plan that we're going to do. And I hate to tell you this, the big ego guys, the real good ones, are going to say, I don't need any help. That's when you look at him and go, shut up. Shut up. You need help. Because I was talking to Tyler Fromm yesterday. He played at Georgia Southern, played for me at Auburn. He had a kid transfer that they played Penn State. And he said that number 11 is the best football player I've seen in the past 4 years. And so you need a plan. So I would do some things. I would absolutely cut him. I would get load on him immediately. I would be enough like, oh, I'm sorry, I punched you in the throat. That's my fault. It's not dirty. It's perfectly legal within the sense of the game. I'm not condone hurting him or risking his draft status. I just want him to think about it.
No,
if you can mess with defensive ends, yeah. And the issue with this is number one is if you're going to chip them to the backside, now you're going to solo them up. But if you really look at the NFL that does a great job at defensive ends, you see a lot of tighter formations with tight ends. They're going to run through his face before he even gets started. And so now you're letting your offensive tackle kind of change his sets a little bit where you're on him, you're off of him. You can jump him, you vertical set him, things like that. The only thing that I would be seriously concerned with is when I watch this game, if third down situations, they stand him up at linebacker or they put him on the guard. That's where you're going to get some problems because you can't chip a 3 technique. You can't. You got to slide to him. That's how you double to him. So now you have to adjust your slide rules. But that remember, slide rules are also based off the back's release points. Okay, and so they start moving him inside or linebacker or walking him up on the nose and playing all kinds of games with him. That's where they're going to get real creative. And we haven't seen that out of Penn State in all the games I've watched. But I also know their head coach. I've known him for a long time. He is not dumb. James Franklin's a smart football coach. And so if they start running number 11 around on guards on third down and make him a stand-up, mill-around guy, they know, okay, they're going to try to double team him. We're going to take that away from them. That's a big one.
And you're talking about Abdul Carter, obviously, for folks that are not.
Yeah, I don't even know his name. I just know numbers.
Abdul Carter, 11 sacks, 56 pressures. His 22.3% win rate. Speaking of PFF, 4th best in the FBS, and his passing rush grade, 2nd in the FBS, 92.3. He's getting a lot of comparisons to Micah Parsons. There's some more numbers, by the way, on Nathan Carroll's article, BroncoNationNews.com.
That's the number.
Huh?
That's the number. Didn't Michael Parsons wear number 11 at Penn State too?
There you go.
Yeah. A
couple of topics I want to get to. I want to hear from Ashton Genty, and then someone gave us a super chat here. But I first want to thank a couple of our sponsors real quick. Western Collective, our studio sponsor. Check them out. If you're looking for a spot to watch the Fiesta Bowl, you can go watch the Fiesta Bowl at Western Collective's Brewery there in Garden City. Go check them out. Garden City. They had great food and drink specials at the brewery for the Fiesta Bowl, and they're donating a portion of the proceeds to the Horseshoe Golden Ale. So check them out for the Fiesta Bowl there at the brewery in Garden City. Our title sponsor is roepaint.com, roepaint.com. All your painting needs, whether it's those concrete coatings for your garage, your back patio, your basement, whether it's an interior painting you need done, they got you covered. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Check them out at roepaint.com. ICCU.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, best in the business. Just wish the Raines family had known about it earlier and would have made the switch earlier, but so happy we are now part of the ICCU family, and you can be too. ICCU.com, all your banking needs. Check out Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. We'll be giving out a Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game from San Jose tomorrow. We'll be there for the basketball game against San Jose State on our way down to Phoenix. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. Check them out online, BauscherRealEstate.com. And when you buy or sell a home from Matt, you get to meet everybody in that picture right there because of the customer service you get at Bauscher Real Estate. I know everybody has 5 friends that are realtors, but I highly recommend Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. ShopRidleys.com, locations across the Treasure Valley, the state of Idaho, the surrounding states. Just great people, Mark Ridley and company. Check them out, ShopRidleys.com, and you can save up to 40% off at the checkout line, downloading that Skip app in your smartphone. And check them out online at shopridleys.com. And weather's getting cold, perfect time for a sauna for that back patio. Check them out, spateam.com. If you're looking for a sauna, looking for a spa, looking for a pool table for the game room, they got you covered. Check them out, Snake River Pool and Spa, the spateam.com, locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They're part of the Boise State home team. Check them out online at the spateam.com. All right, guys. We had a super chat here. Let me find it here. Somebody gave us $5, so I will add $2.50 to each of your next paychecks here. The question was about I'm trying to find
They
it.
can't even go to a movie for that.
And one, yeah. Oh, here it is. Kendrick Melville. Could the SMU results work in Boise State's favor regarding Penn State's mindset versus a lowly group of 5? Penn State, everyone said they had the easy road, then they blow out SMU. They're already maybe thinking about the Orange Bowl, and any thought that the blowout of SMU only helps Penn State look past Boise State even more. And again, Kendrick, thank you for the $5, sir. Jay, what do you think?
No.
Going with Bedell on this one, man.
No.
Yeah, I don't think
They
so.
don't, they're already doing it. I mean, the media is doing it for them, right? Trust me, I don't think Penn State's within the building saying, hey, it's just Boise State. I know Coach Franklin got in the media and said, oh, we respect Boise State, the culture of Boise State, the historical Boise State, and all that stuff. I always think it happens with the players when they step on the field. When Penn State's used to take the field versus Ohio State, monsters. Michigan, monsters. Wisconsin, monsters. Oregon, we know how they look. I think the players always go, we're playing these guys? They're not very big. And all of a sudden, wham, you hit them straight in the mouth, and they're like, oh, here we go.
And that's what guys said in the 2007 Fiesta Bowl, by the way, when Oklahoma went out for warmups and Boise State was standing on the other side before that first Fiesta Bowl game. A lot of those guys on Boise State said they could just tell right away from warmups and from some of the things that Oklahoma was saying, especially early in that game and before the game, that they maybe necessarily didn't respect them or thought, oh, look at that whack team over there. Those guys are small.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. Players are like that. I mean, trust me, as a coach, I'd be like that. There's some teams that we play, and I'm like, oh, my God, we're about to mollywop these guys. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, this is going to take us a quarter, and then at half, we're up by 30. It's just, player, it's an instinct. Players just do it. I did it as a player. I look over and go, you kidding me? Like when I was playing in Colorado, we played San Jose State. And I looked at the guy, he was 5'9", 300 pounds, and he looked like a tuna can. I'm like, what is going on? And he was garbage. Where, it's like then you face a team like a Georgia team at Auburn, and they take the field, and you got the Davis kid who's got a WWE belt across his shoulder, and he's walking on the field. I'm like, that is one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen. And I looked at the center, and I said, dude, you are screwed. I didn't say that. I said other words, but I don't want to say those words here. But it's like, he's like, I got him. Well, we lasted a half. It's just, it's instinct. The coaches are talking about the players will do that stuff on their own, but can they make it up after they get struck straight hit in the mouth?
Jay, are we making too big of a deal of the Fiesta Bowl magic and back in the Fiesta Bowl and the same uniforms and they're 3-0 there and they just, we're the underdogs is how they like it and all this stuff. I mean, are we? I'm playing it up. That's one of my big stories I'm writing for Sunday. But are we making too much of that aspect of this? And once you get on the field, it's which team is better. And if Penn State's the better team, they're going to win the game.
I think on game day that it's probably too big of a storyline. It doesn't. I mean, it was 10 years ago since the last team. But I will say, as the buildup happens, and as you hear everybody complimenting Penn State and their pass rush, and they stop the run and all this stuff, I think you can at least look at history and know we've gone there 3 times, and it at least gives you the sense that that can be a little bit of nonsense or doesn't matter on game day. So it gives you the sense that, hey, we belong here. It's going to be fine. Then the ball goes down and all that crap doesn't matter. But I just think in the build up to the game, if there's ever any little doubt, it just gives you that sense that, oh no, they've done this before. We can go do it now. It just gives you that sense that no, we do belong here.
No doubt. You can go to Boise State's a big boy slayer, right? Look, ask Georgia, ask Virginia Tech, ask Oklahoma, ask TCU,
Oregon, Florida State.
Name it. So it's not like just a Fiesta Bowl. It's the history of the football program. It's we do not care who we're playing. Put the ball down and let's go. And I just don't. I think the whole Fiesta Bowl thing. I get it. Penn State. We won 7 of them. It's like these kids, some of them were just babies the last time they played.
That is, well, most of Penn States were in like the 70s and 80s. Boise State's, at least all 3 have been in the last 20 years or whatever. I feel like only Penn State only has 1 or 2 since 2000, if I remember right, if that matters at all.
But it's all the same because these kids that are playing here come 31st or were playing with Lego logs. I don't even think they had those back in the day, but they were playing with Legos. They weren't worried about the Fiesta Bowl. They weren't worried about the trick plays. It's just now you're seeing them. I think the players know more of it now because that's the one thing. Culture. You get a great history of Boise State football as you're going through the process of recruiting. You get the great historical culture of Boise State football when you're playing at Boise State. And some kids get tired of it and go, we're our own team, but you're living up to a culture in a football program. And I don't know if Penn State does that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in that building. Is it too big? No. I think it's more of a story. It's like we're the big boy slayer. Boise State doesn't care, and I think that's one thing. I know it's doubting us. I think Jay. I think you hit it nail on the head. It's like you got to get to the game. If you get to the game, we're going. And eventually it's like, I'm tired of hearing about this crap. I'm tired. I've heard 10 days how we suck. I've heard 10 days we're not good enough. I've heard 10 days we don't deserve the bye. I heard this. Eventually you're going to have to say, you know what? We're going to play the game. Eventually you're going to have to face us. And I think that's why I love Boise State. I just think it's going to keep saying what you're saying. It's just embarrassing, and I think it's disrespectful because everybody thinks Penn State's the greatest team of all time when they haven't won a Big Ten in how long?
We got a Penn State fan that joined the chat here. He says Penn State's last national championship was in the Fiesta Bowl. LMAO, you guys are full of BS. The last one they played in was 2017. Yours was 2014. Well, me and Jay's wasn't ours, but no, it wasn't any 3 of ours actually. But I just think if you look at it, I think before that, when was the last one? I mean, I'm just saying Penn State was 7-0, but most of those 7 were before the turn of the century. So
here's the other thing. I hope Arctic Pokemon found his card in Christmas. That's awesome, dude. But it's the same thing with Penn State. Why are we full of BS because we didn't get your date right? Shut up. We can go a lot of dates for Penn State. You want to go through some dates for Penn State? Let's not do this. Just because we missed a date, we're not full of BS. Okay, we missed a date. Stop. Keep living on your high horse. Keep living on your high horse.
All right, Brad.
And if Boise State loses, okay, let's just play it. And everybody's going to come back at me. I'm going to be the first one to say congratulations to Penn State. You guys beat them. You deserve to win the game. It's just, why is like everything now, because of social media and Arctic Pokemon clowns can hide behind a desk and start making fun of everybody because they like the team, they like a matchup, this and that. It's like, no, we're soft. No, you guys are full of crap. No, dude, just stop it. Stop it and play the game.
Yeah. To steal an acronym from Brad real quick. F around and find out.
Right. Play the game. Put the ball down and let us hit you straight in the mouth. And let's see, at the end of the day, fourth quarter, 0-0-0, who's left standing, who's going on to play Notre Dame or Georgia, and who's not. And that's what it sums up to be. If Penn State stops the run and they play physical brand of football and just beat Boise State physically, you deserve to win the game. You deserve to win the game. But don't give me this if Boise State comes out here, smacks you dead in the mouth, and makes you guys quit, and you guys did all this crap talking and all that. Don't give us this, oh, the refs gave it to them. Okay? There you go. I'm not mad. Dates are just talking, showing you so you can backtrack it. Perfect. I hope it's a great game. I hope it's a great game. I just don't think everybody realizes of Boise State's a lot better than everybody thinks. And did Oregon play Penn State?
How
was that result?
Game.
How was that result?
Worse than Boise State's on a neutral.
Exactly. So if you want to compare that stuff, that's the only thing we can compare the two teams with. That's it. And it's a different Oregon team in that Big Ten now. I don't think Boise does as well versus Oregon. Later in the season. I'm going to give Penn State that. I'll give Penn State that credit.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that in my heart. An Oregon team right now is very dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. I think Oregon's gotten better. They figured it out a little bit. They had a lot of new pieces. They've gelled as time's gone along. I agree with you on that one, Bedell. One thing I will say about Boise State, and I just don't. There are a lot of great teams left in the playoffs, but in terms of what those teams do well, I mean, I'm probably going a little too far here, but whatever. I don't know if one team does anything as well as Boise State does running the football. And that the one thing that gives me hope there is that usually travels. Like if you can run the football on Oregon, I would assume that they should be able to run the football a little bit on Penn State. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to load the box. They play a single high, and they're going to be fully focused on stopping Ashton Genty. I get that, but they've dealt with it all year long. I think the biggest thing, and to go back to your point about how they're going to move, number 11 around there, Bedell, and on third down situations and stuff like that, you neutralize that by being in third and short, right? Like,
no doubt. Stay on schedule.
If you're 3rd and 2, you can't put that dude in the middle of your defensive line, right? So that's in Boise State for the most part. They've been really good on third downs and staying ahead of the chains or on track and things like that. So that's where game management and just, man, I think you also, if you're Boise State, you know that Ashton Genty has the home run ability, but more than anything, you have to stay on track. You can't get frustrated if it's not there. It's triple option, 3 yards in the cloud of dust type of mentality there. Like you got to stay on track.
I agree with you 100%.
I want to know. You asked Dirk Cutter about the you said it in jest, but a lot of fans I think are wondering about the Statue of Liberty play being busted out for this game. And I know that Dirk Cutter's not going to come out and go, yeah, we put it in this week. Yeah, we're ready to go. So you kind of take his answer with a grain of salt. And I know you were just having fun with it, but you said, how many variations of the Statue of Liberty did you put in this week? And he said, well, if you count Ashton running to the left and Ashton running to the right, we've got 32 of them. Dirk hasn't really, and I asked him, but I followed up with your question, like, you haven't run many trick plays this year. Like, that's just not who he is. And he said maybe the NFL kind of soured him a little on that. But is Dirk the kind of guy, or is Spencer the kind of guy that says, like, do you think at least once they were running that play? Is that play somewhere in the back of the playbook? I'm not even saying it's 1% they call it, but do you think that play is in the playbook for this week? It has to be, right? Come on.
The only thing I know, or that I'm very confident in, he said maybe to Spence bring it up. No, Dirk. This is Dirk Cutter's deal. He lets Dirk ride. I think he pops in and says, "How we doing?" And outside of that, this will be up to Dirk Cutter to game plan and figure it out. And if he wants to run the Statue of Liberty 8 times, they'll do that. If they want to run power 40 times, they're going to do that. They want to do mid zone like they've done all year or whatever, they'll do. This is Dirk's deal. There's no other influence at all, literally from anyone. By the way, anybody we could all be suggesting they got to run it. Yeah, that's not going to matter with Dirk Cutter.
No. And Brad, okay, so the 07 Fiesta Bowl, they obviously run all those trick plays. 2010, they run a fake punt in the fourth quarter to win that game. It was a tie game against TCU in the Fiesta Bowl in 2010. They throw or was it 09, I guess? I forget when the actual day was, but they throw it. It was 09 season. They throw the fake punt. They score on that. 2014, they come back with Mike Sanford. They run a variation of the Statue of Liberty, different play name. They run it, slightly different play. They call it Merca. They're way out at like the 12 or 15 yard line on that one. They run it, score a touchdown on it. Jay Ajayi literally breaks the guy's arm, barreling into the end zone. By the way, wasn't that play the Riddler, the fake punt for our boy Kent Riddle? Was that a little odd homage to Kent Riddle, the Riddler, and then the fake punt in 2010? Anyway,
it is now.
Dirk Cutter, this all like the history of the Fiesta Bowl and all this, all the trick plays, like an homage. Like any chance there's an homage? Maybe they don't have the right time to call it, but do they get some of those plays maybe in the? This week.
I think the trick plays have to present themselves if they're available. And you practice a lot of them, but sometimes it's not there. It's not there. And if it's there, I'm sure Dirk Cutter will do anything within his offense to win the game. If that's trick play, I guarantee he's going to call a trick play. If that's statue, there it is. But I agree with Jay. It's okay. We can do this trick play, or we can just hand off mid zone and score with it. It's like, what are we got to do what's percentages are higher, right? And, it's the one thing, like, you're getting the ball to Jay. He broke his arm, scored, right? I think it's anything that's going to present itself in the game that gives the opportunity to put points on the board, it'll happen. It'll happen. It's just, I don't know. There's not a bunch of trick plays historically where Dirk's been, and historically, even when he was at Arizona State, I don't believe they did a bunch of trick plays. Just not. I mean, that's not. There's some plays that are like it. Some guys are not like it. Some things like Dirk's he's very creative with motions and creating up matchups and extra holes and things like that. That's where his creativity in the run game really succeeds. Not reverse pass, not that type of stuff.
I just think he's already kind of elevated his status in Bronco Nation, Dirk Cutter at least. He's going out here about as high as you can go out in terms of what he did the first time he came back, then he came back again this year, and what the offense has done. Like Dirk Cutter, could run for mayor or whatever. People love Dirk Cutter right now. If he were to bust out the Statue of Liberty or something like that in this game and they find a way to win, like he could, push himself into legendary status even further in this game. But I don't think he cares one bit about that. He's going to play that gives us a chance to score a touchdown here.
And I don't know if he was joking or not, but if he did call Statue of Liberty or whatever, it might be the first time in his entire career he's actually dialed that up in a game. And he said too, we always see the highlight reels and stuff like that of all the trick plays that work, but you never see the ones that don't work. more than anything, I think that we know what Boise State does well. They've done it all year well. And to go back even to what Brad said basically at the beginning of this conversation, like, where is the little wrinkle that you counter it or something like that, where they've done this well all season long? Where's the little tweak? Where's the little wrinkle that all of a sudden Penn State might not be prepared for that? And it doesn't have to be a double reverse pass or anything like that. It can be something else. It can be something much more simple that doesn't even draw much attention from us. But where are those little wrinkles where Boise State's done this all year? How do you just play off of it just a little bit?
Right. Well, we're on time, but Brad, your boy Arctic Pokemon is back. He said, quote, "This game means more to Penn State in every way. Fans and players will show up," and we don't know what we're talking about. So,
well, why is that? Why do you feel that way? So you're telling me a game in the Fiesta Bowl, as a fan, I have the right to say, and trust me, I try to play both sides. I go more Boise State. I get that. But as a fan, you have no right what means more or the other thing is. I disagree with Don't tell me how Boise State fans feel and how it's more important. You don't know that. You don't know. Arctic Pokemon. Do you live in this town? Do you live here, or where do you live? It doesn't matter. You can't say that. I think it means equal to both teams. I truly feel it means equal to both teams. It's the college football playoff. Everybody wants to do it. Linda, you're dead on. And it's not, you can't say that. Oh, it means more. Well, okay, awesome. You feel that way. You have the right to feel that way. Just don't tell other people that it means more to Penn State. Linda, you're right. He's full of your emoji.
I'll add this one last thing for me, BJ, or whatever. Is it, in terms of like the meaning of this game, like I really don't think that like the players, I mean, maybe 10 years down the road they'll think of this or something like this, but like leading up to the game, I really don't think that this will mean much. This specific storyline will mean much to them. But as college football continues to evolve, somebody out of the group of five has to continue that they belong, that they deserve a seat at the table and things like that. And so, again, I really don't think the Boise State players really care too much about this specific storyline going into the game. I don't think it'll impact their motivation or anything. They're more just focused on beating Penn State. But in the grand scheme of things, like if Boise State goes on a run here and wins a college football playoff game or two, at least when the negotiations to how we're going to, restructure the college football seating and all this stuff in 2 years, when that comes back to the table, at least Boise State will have a legitimate argument. Now, there's so much money on the other side of it, it really might not matter, but at least they can say, no, we won a game. I mean, I love freaking Kirk Herbstreit. I think he's awesome at what he does, but even his argument the other day was saying, or at least he asked, do we put the 12 best teams in the playoffs or the 12 most deserving? And I'm like, what kind of question is that? Like, wins and losses matter. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, but they do. And so you can't make up these hypotheticals. Otherwise, why are we even playing these games on Saturday? Like, line them up, let them play. And if Boise State wins, they can show that they are deserving. And moving forward, they can try to reserve a seat at the table.
Well, I agree. I think more people are bitter that Boise State got their first round bye than if they're in it. I don't even think I don't think all the hate's coming Boise State's way if they're not sitting there with a first round bye.
I agree.
I think this conversation from all Penn State fans to all the other fans is, let's say Boise State beat SMU by 20, right? Now they're playing Penn State. Let's flip the scenario. Penn State got the bye. Boise State's running it. I don't think half of this stuff's coming out. I think you're going to have your selected, passionate Penn State fans saying this, which is awesome. That's why you're a passionate fan. I love it. But I don't think you're having this kind of meltdown on some things if Boise doesn't have the first round bye. It's just not happening, in my opinion. Or what happened? I want to know if that. We can't get into this because I don't want to hear it. Number one, but I also don't think all this crap's coming out with Penn State if they're playing Texas or Georgia or Notre Dame. No, they're just playing little old Boise State. And so they're a speed bump in the road. They're not very good. They suck, yada, yada, yada. Cool. But is the conversation going to happen the same as if Boise State just absolutely drummed SMU in the first round? Probably not. Probably not. They're just bitter because Boise State won games and they did it by the rule of college football. If you don't like it, change the rule, right? That's simple. 2 years, change the rule, which is going to happen. I hate to tell you that. Because this shouldn't happen. And now everybody wants to hate on the team that deserved it because the way college football playoff committee put it in. It's just, so blame the committee. Start bitching to the committee if you don't like it, but it's the way it is this year. And so I just know this, and I know I'm not getting on again. I don't think I'm getting on again before the game, is this. If Boise State wins, you're going to see a lot of tears. And this whole country is going to have a conniption. And now all of a sudden, Boise's going to get drummed versus Notre Dame or Georgia, and we're going to have the same arguments again. If they lose,
I think people love it. I disagree with that, actually. I think 90% of the country will be rooting for Boise State in this game. Why not?
Oh, I agree with you. But it's like if Penn State wins, they just beat Boise State. Boise State's just they finally had to play up and they got beat.
Brad, can we make a date right now that if Boise State wins the Fiesta Bowl on Tuesday, we can do a New Year's Day show on that Wednesday morning?
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, watch it. May not make it don't make it too early. I may sleep through that.
We could come cocktail in hand to the show on that one. All right. I'll allow it.
I'm not a big, actually, you know, it's surprising. I'm not a big New Year's Eve guy. I'd rather have an early dinner, sit at home.
Watching this game New Year's Eve.
Watching the game. I have dinner with the family, and now at 5:30, a special time. Oh shit! At a special place. I didn't break the chair. I'm not that fat.
That's the signal that it's time for you guys to roll, because I got our boy Alex Guerrero going to stop by for a few minutes and talk about some of the events going on down in Phoenix. And appreciate both of you guys. I know you're both busy. And Jay, safe travels. We'll see you down there in Phoenix. I know it's going to be a fun couple of days here. Looking forward to it.
Sounds good, brother.
Thanks, Jay.
Good, guys.
You as well. I'll meet you Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. after the game. How about that?
I'll be there.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot. Brad Bedell and Jay Tust. They do great work. We appreciate them for coming on. We are going to check in with Alex Guerrero in just a second and get the lowdown on some of the great events and things and going down in the Phoenix area if you're heading down to Phoenix. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Alex Guerrero's backstage going to join us live here in just a second. But I do want to tell you about Lithia Ford of Boise. Are all the all-wheel drive sale going on at Lithia Ford of Boise? They got some great deals going on right now on the F-150s. So you can save, in some cases, more than $10,000 off the sticker price. So the weather's getting cold, snow, ice, rain, it's all coming. Make sure you have a vehicle that can handle the Idaho conditions here at Lithia Ford of Boise. And don't forget, they've got 6 NIL deals with student athletes at Boise State. A lot of the coaches, a lot of the administrators, they're taking care of Boise State. They're one of their biggest sponsors. Return the favor for your next car or truck purchase at Lithia Ford of Boise. Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, they are hiring at the local Treasure Valley Taco Bell locations. You can apply for a job right there in the store or online at TacoBellWorks.com. You get more information and apply for that job right there online. Great promotional opportunities, free food while you work, half your wages the next day after your shift. Highly recommend a career at Taco Bell, and the food's pretty darn good as well. Make sure you check them out, Treasure Valley Taco Bell location. Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking for a job, check them out. Transportation Compliance Service, TCS, helping folks get into the trucking industry all over the world. It's a locally owned company right here in the Treasure Valley. Check them out, whether it's DOT, overweight, permits, whatever you need to get out there towing the first load in no time. Check them out, transcomservice.com. Heading to San Jose this afternoon for the basketball game tomorrow before I head to Phoenix. And don't forget about Jackson's. They've got some NIL deals with student athletes at Boise State. $2 gets you a hot dog and a soda when the Broncos score 70 points, and that's in January and February. So when they score 70, you get a hot dog and a soda for $2 at Jackson's. And don't forget, 25 cents from every hot dog sold at Jackson's goes to support the Horseshoe Collective. And they donated $100,000 in 2024 to the collective just based off 25-cent profits from hot dog sales. So next time you're looking for snacks, drinks, hot dog, gas, make sure you hit up our sponsor at Jackson's, and we appreciate them. We also appreciate those of you that have left voicemails, speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play that here moving forward on the show. Your thoughts, your predictions for the Fiesta Bowl, speakpipe.com/BNN. If you got a basketball thought for tomorrow, we'll play that as well, and it's brought to you by our friends at Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 20 years, mysignatureroofing.com, and whether it's a re-roof or repair and inspection, free estimate, they got you covered, mysignatureroofing.com. And I know Alex knows Travis Hawks very well, the Blue and Orange store. They got those shirts ready. If you're getting ready to leave town today, tomorrow, Sunday, make sure you head on to the Boise Town Square Mall real quick. Load up on your game day gear for the Fiesta Bowl. That orange Please Count Us Out shirt would be a perfect choice. They're asking folks to wear orange for the Fiesta Bowl for Boise State fans, and they've got you covered. All the various Fiesta Bowl shirts, hats, pullovers, everything you're looking for. As I said, including the new Please Count Us Out shirt. Those are all available at the Blue and Orange store. You can order online, theblueandorangestore.com if you're not in the Boise area, or you can just go online. As I said, or if you're in the area, just go to the Boise Town Square Mall, second floor next to Pro Image. That is the Blue and Orange store, theblueandorangestore.com. All right, a lot of cool things going on that we're involved with. We're teaming up with our man, Alex Guerrero. And Alex, nice enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. There he is. He's already down waiting for the party to arrive to him in Phoenix. He's got his homage to Dale Holsey there with the equipment sweatshirt. But Alex, we appreciate you, man. 4 days from the Fiesta Bowl. How we feeling? I don't know if we hear you, Alex. You're not muted, but I'm not hearing you. I don't know if anybody else did or not, unless you're just talking quiet. We'll see if we can get.
There we go.
There you are.
Yeah.
There you are. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, good, man. I mean, I've been having a heck of a time reconnecting with so many people from, different generations of Boise State football teams. Got to talk to Chad McKibben today, who was a guy who was in our class in 2002. Been talking to some of the young guys. Curtis Weaver hit me up, making the trip out. So just, again, I think I say this over and over again, but just so much more affirmation every year that goes by of our decision to go to Boise State. And I like to remind guys of that, right? The young guys, the old guys, talking to Mike Sanford and telling them, man, like what a blessing it's been that we, I think it was a blessing for us to get, offered to have the opportunity, but to really to have some foresight, have some manifestation, right, of what we wanted to be part of. And these type of games are just such a great testament to that. And so many people to give credit for that, but just fun to reconnect. And the gift that keeps on giving is what Boise State football is into me, like as far as my heart and my passion. So it's been great.
Well, obviously a former player, and now you're doing some things in the marketing and agent world, with players and things, and obviously giving back, to the community with Gridiron Dreams and all the stuff you have going on there. And but now you're in a cool spot here where you're back there living in that area and getting to host some parties and things for the Fiesta Bowl. I know we're teaming up on a couple of them here, but the floor is yours, I guess. Just what all we got going on? What should fans be? I know it's a long list of stuff here, but the official Fiesta Bowl list is not very long because they treat this as a playoff game. It's not necessarily a bowl game. So there's the official pep rally, and then there's like the kind of game day block party, but that's pretty much it. And so we've tried to fill in the gaps with whether it be the golf event, the horse racing event. You've got an evening event I know you want to hit on too, but if you see Boise State, and no offense to them, whatever, but they put out there, here's your itinerary for the trip, and it had like 2 things on it. It's like no, there's about 10 things you can do.
And that's with potentially 20 to 25,000 people coming to Arizona, like Boise State fans. And so I think this is just a great compliment to the things that Boise State is putting on. And we try to make it that way. We try not to make it conflicting in time. But we have a little bit of everything, from a Sunday round of golf where we have some former players like Shea McClellan, Austin Pettis, Ryan Clady just committed. And if you haven't seen Ryan Clady play, the guy's a stick at 6'6", 300 and something pounds, already has a hole in one. That's going to be at Mountain Point golf course, which will be great. It'll be more of a get together with Bronco fans, some Penn State fans, some Arizona golfers. And that's all in conjunction with the National Thoroughbred League, which is like a fun, play against F1 together with the Kentucky Derby. So it's a team-based horse racing league, and one of the owners of the people racing is actually Julius Erving, Dr. J, the Hall of Fame NBA player. So it was really cool to team up with them, because it gave me a kind of like a plug and play opportunity to start, connecting Bronco fans with something to do. Because I don't know how cold it is over there, but it's cold in the mornings here, but beautiful by the afternoon. And that's the weather that we're going to have here. And so some golf will be some great stuff. Then we have the daytime event on Monday, which will be 12 to 4, which will be at the horse race track called Paradise. Turf Paradise, which I tried to get them to change it to Blue Turf Paradise, but they didn't do the change of the names. But what they did do is that they're going to actually paint the green turf, the green grass blue, which will be a fun treat. And to me, the race is a great family event. They're going to have tickets. They're extremely cheap. You can come out there. I know BNN has a great promo code for those. And to me, for the former players, I've been telling them, if you got the family out, bring them to that. That'll be a good time where we can have socially a time for the kids to do something, socially a time for the adults to get together. And that's going to be from noon to 4 o'clock. You don't have to stay the whole time. You can come in and out. We're going to have a beer garden that's actually going to be donating $1 per beer sold to the Horseshoe Collective. So a lot of really great synergies between a race and Bronco country and Bronco Nation and the Horseshoe Collective. So that was a fun opportunity to do that. And my understanding, and obviously I'm not making these guys commit, but we're going to have at least 50 former players there, and I'm excited about that, because that's going to be an opportunity to be able to reconnect. And then, my thought is, people can make it down to the block party after that. And then what I wanted to do is recreate like an evening, adults only evening for the Boise State alumni, which we want to invite Bronco Nation to. And that's going to be at Playhouse by Maya, which is right there next to the block party in Old Town. You guys can see all this information on BNN's social pages, my social pages. And then the players that are going to be attending are going to be posting the information as well. We also got some really cool stuff going on week long. And then the game day at Biggs, Arizona, American Bar Grill. That's a great spot. Actually, my high school mentor owns it, defensive end in front of me. They're extending a 15% discount to anyone that wears blue and orange throughout the whole week while people are arriving there. So starting on the 29th through the 1st. And then on the morning of the game, they're going to do an all-you-can-eat breakfast with a free buffet with a free drink for only $35. And a portion of that is also going to go to the Horseshoe Collective. And a portion of everything at that restaurant that day for that brunch is going to be donated back to the Horseshoe Collective. And then kind of like the premier event where we got former players locked in and, doing autographs and everything will be over at Salt. Taquitos and Tequila, or Tacos y Tequilas. That's going to be down in the Glendale Entertainment District, which if you guys have been to past Fiesta Bowls, it's right next to the stadium. And that to me is going to be where a lot more players and their families are going to be. It's all ages. It's not 21 and over. It's all ages until 9 p.m. They're going to have food there. They're going to have drink specials. They're going to have meet and greets. There is going to be a cover charge. But it's only $10 and it's going to go, that's the way we're fundraising for the collective. And then there's also a $75 VIP ticket that gives you all you can eat and all you can drink. So that should be fun. The players that are going to be highlighted are going to be Leighton Vander Esch, obviously first round pick, Dallas Cowboys recently, Jared Zabransky and Jerron Johnson. And there's going to be a whole lot more players there. But yeah, inviting Bronco Nation to all these things, I think it'll be a great opportunity to reconnect. And honestly, there's so many people coming in. Like, I'm just hoping we can all, connect at some capacity. And I know BJ will share a adult beverage at some point as well.
Yes, I'm excited for that. My wife and I are planning to come to the collective event the night before the game. We're looking forward to that. So we got
it'll be fun. I figured, and they're going to actually open the doors at 5 p.m. So the block party is kind of a walk around and be around Bronco Nation people. So if you guys want to stop by, they're going to have a signature drink called Blue Cocktail. I don't know. They said something blue. And that's going to go towards the collective. And also there's going to be a beer special and a food special. My goal, crossing my fingers, talking to old Joe, we want to raise at least $10,000 this weekend for the collective, especially going into negotiating season for coaches, and to be able to know that we're going to be writing a check. I know I got to give a big shout out to Sam, who did the sack fund, who raised a ton of money for the D linemen. That's going to be amazing. I didn't expect there to be that many sacks, so I'm going to have to explain to my wife why we're writing another check to Boise State. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm excited for it, and Arizona is going to be a blast.
Yeah, we're like I said, my wife and I are definitely planning for the event the night before the game, the social there. We're looking forward to that.
You're going to set up at the tailgate, right? At the game day tailgate.
I was going to say you left out the two most important things.
My bad. We're going to be doing interviews there.
First of all, at the horse race,
yes.
For some reason. I'll be a part of the group that's handing out the trophy in the winner's circle for the Bronco Nation Stakes. So you mentioned it's 12-4, but the actual race on the blue turf, the official Bronco Nation Stakes race is at 3:00. So everyone needs to at least be there by 3:00, and then that gives you time after the race to leave and make the block party by 4 for the pep rally. But 3:00 is the Bronco Nation Stakes, and myself
and it's all pretty close too. It's about 14 miles away. So the best part about Arizona is we have the best freeway system ever. You're pretty much close to a freeway no matter where you're at. So you can get down to Scottsdale pretty quickly from the turf paradise. And
and that's going to be cool. I'm going to let my kids come down there. Maybe they'll be the ones that actually hand out the trophy, but we'll be in the winner's circle handing out the trophy. I know Johnny and Prater, KTIK Radio, they're doing their show from the horse track on Monday as well from 3 to 6. So they're hoping to talk to folks and do some interviews with players and folks that are going to be out there. So they'll be out there. We'll be out there. And then, yes, the game day, I believe from 1 to 3, we're going to Mike Sanford and I will be co-hosting the official Lithia Florida Boise pregame show live from the action there at Salt or wherever they're going to put us. And I know, Alex, thank you to you for kind of helping organize that. But Sanford and I will be live 1 to 3.
I told all the guys to come with the best Fiesta Bowl stories. I want the dirt. I got a good one. Yes. You know, I mean, I think we're going to be doing some great reminiscing. It'll be great.
Mike Sanford, who literally was the offensive coordinator in a Fiesta Bowl, is co-hosting this show for 2 hours. So it's going to be a lot of fun stories. I may just let all you guys talk and I'll go have a beverage or something. I guess not before the game, maybe wait till after. But no, it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, my family's going to be down there, a lot of family time, and everybody's going to be bringing their families, and it's kind of the official pregame spot. So you don't want to deal with traffic. You don't want to deal with any of that stuff. Take your Uber early, come down, park early. It's right, as you said, just north of the stadium, right across the street from the parking lot, a big entertainment area with restaurants and bars, and we'll be set up at Salt, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And Nick's asking if there's a website or article with all the different events. I will put that together. That's a good idea. We'll put that together. As Alex said, he has tweeted out on his social media. I've retweeted it. I've got some on mine as well, but there are events pretty much every day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we hope folks will join all of them. The horse racing event
for the Gridiron Social
drinks and hang out, and it's going to be nice weather.
Yeah, it's going to be great. For the social, we're actually going to be doing giveaways every hour on the hour. We're going to have DJ there. So that's going to be Monday night at the playground. And, we got some special treats. We're going to have the Fiesta Bowl guys sign stuff. We're actually also going to be giving away sideline passes to the game, to the Fiesta Bowl. We're going to be giving up to 4 of those. And so all the proceeds for those are going to go for the collective. And so excited about that. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. I've been training for it. I've been getting my sleep. I've been hydrating. I've been getting my voice ready for the screaming. I got 3 sets of seats because I want to sit with so many different people. I'm going to be in the suite with George Iloka and the younger 2012 guys. Then I got some of my 2006 guys. Then I got some of the young guys I want to hang with, and then I'll stop by and say hi to my wife for a little bit, and then I'll go back to I'm going to be all over the place. It's going to be great.
No, it's going to be awesome, man. It's really cool, and it's got to be cool as a former player too, just to see Boise State back in the Fiesta Bowl, back in Phoenix. It just seemed fitting. It could have been the Peach Bowl, could have been one of the bowls, but Fiesta Bowl just fits.
Some people were texting me before. They're like, "There's no way we're going to get screwed out of a bye week." I'm like, "There's something about destiny that just keeps coming up in my head about this team, from Ashton coming back to Spencer getting the gig to Jeremiah doing what he's been doing. There's just so many things that you start looking at it when you reflect on the things that have gone right? Yeah, we've had some hiccups, but everything seems to happen for a reason. And so then when people were calling me about we're not going to get the bye, I'm like, just watch, because the destiny, word kept coming to my mind. And honestly, I don't think it stops there, to be honest with you. I love this matchup. I think the guys will be ready. There's not much about Penn State that I think, other than the tight end, but I think we have a good enough defensive mind right now that we can game plan against that. And then Ashton speaks for himself. Good luck.
Yo, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Can't wait. Looking forward to seeing you down there. Again, follow Alex on social media. Follow myself. We hope to see you. You can buy the tickets for the horse racing event at the door, but they'd rather you buy them in advance to make sure you get that discount with the 20% off and things. Just use that promo code BNN20. Alex, I know, has a promo code for the golf event as well. You can get a big discount on the golf if you're looking to bring the clubs down in golf on Sunday, if you're going to be down there in time. So, it's going to be a fun weekend. Looking forward to it, Alex. Working, getting a chance, as you said, to share a beverage and hear some of the, I love these kind of events. I can just be a fly on the wall and I just stand there and hear you guys all tell these great stories, and I don't say a word for 2 hours, and it's awesome.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of banter. I'll tell you that much.
Huh?
A lot of banter.
Yes. Again, you got the horse racing event you got the golf event on Sunday, horse racing event on Monday. You got the What are we calling the event Monday?
We're calling it the Gridiron Fiesta Bowl Socials to play against the Gridiron Social that we do every year at the spring game, so we can target the alumni to come out, and that's the hope. So it's the first time we're inviting Bronco Nation to what is typically reserved for alumni, Boise State football alumni. So that'll be a good treat for Bronco Nation.
Well, I think Monday your day's set. You come out to the horse races. You go on into the pep rally, and then, as you said, the evening socials right there near where the pep rally is. So come hang out, stop by for a while. That should be a lot of fun. And then on your game day, come over, park early, 11 a.m., noon, take your Uber, avoid the traffic, and then come over to Salt in the entertainment district there and hang out with us. We'll be live 1 to 3 with a lot of former players and guys telling stories. And as I said, Mike Sanford will be helping co-host that with me. And I know Kent Riddle's going to stop by, some other guys. So going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Alex, thanks, man, for jumping on. Appreciate you. We'll see you in a couple days, man.
All right, see ya.
There he is, Alex Guerrero. Just does tremendous work with the collective, with all the different stuff that he's doing to help raise money. And again, we will get the information up there. But if you're coming down to Phoenix, you have no shortage of options of events and things to do. And we are really excited about that. I am heading to San Jose this afternoon. There's a basketball game tomorrow. Boise State basketball looking to go 2-0 in Mountain West play. They are playing at San Jose State tomorrow, 3 o'clock Mountain Time, 2 o'clock Pacific time. That game is on the Mountain West Network, but Bronco Nation News will be live 2 o'clock Mountain Time with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. Bob and Abe will be there, but other than that, I'm the only local outlet heading to San Jose for this game. So if you want some basketball coverage tomorrow to kind of kick off your football weekend, we'll have you covered. The pregame show and the postgame show live from San Jose. The return of Alvaro Cardenas. He is heading back to the place where he played for 3 years and did some big things, and I know that he's excited to get back to the place that kind of got him his start in America basketball and Division I basketball at San Jose State. And so we will talk to Alvaro Cardenas on the pregame show. We'll get set for his return to San Jose. Full basketball coverage tomorrow. And because of your subscriptions, because of your support of Bronco Nation News, we are able to send Jaden Finch down today to Phoenix. So Jaden Finch, our Boise State student, part-time employee intern, who does a tremendous job for us, because of your guys' support and your subscriptions, we're able to send him today, and Jaden will be at the airport tomorrow. So we will have full coverage from Phoenix tomorrow as well as the football team arrives in Phoenix. They'll have some interviews at the airport, the team getting off the plane. BNN will have you covered with all that good stuff tomorrow. The Broncos head down tomorrow to Phoenix, and they'll have you covered the whole way from Phoenix as the team arrives tomorrow. And as I said, we'll have basketball coverage as well, pre and post game on Bronco Nation News. So appreciate you guys. We had a great discussion in the chat, a lot of comments. I wasn't able to get all those on the air. For those of you from Penn State that joined in, appreciate you guys for finding the show in the chat. And good luck to Penn State, obviously, coming up on Tuesday. Cannot wait to get on the road. Cannot wait to get back to Phoenix and be down there for to cover my second Fiesta Bowl. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, first, we have some stuff today. Practice is actually open in 45 minutes. I'm going to hurry down to Boise State. Practice is open. We'll see if Sire Gaines is practicing. We'll see if Tubner's out there. Who all's out there? We'll give you some updates from practice coming up in about 45 minutes at 11 o'clock. We get to watch practice for 15 minutes today, and we will get out there and get what we can for you. And then Eric Chenander and some defensive players are talking at 1:45, so we'll get Eric Chenander today at 1:45. The other players talking, Ty Benefield, Rodney Robinson, Braxton Feely, and Jaden Virgin Morgan also talking today, so that'll be at 1:45. And then Bronco Nation News will head to Phoenix and to San Jose, and we'll have full coverage tomorrow of the team arriving in Phoenix for the Fiesta Bowl. And as I said, pregame, in-game, and post-game coverage of Boise State basketball against San Jose State tomorrow. And then as soon as the game ends tomorrow and the post-game show ends, we'll head back to the San Jose airport, fly down tomorrow night to Phoenix, and we'll be ready to go Sunday morning for the media day coverage that gets going at 8 a.m. with Penn State on Sunday. So appreciate you guys. Go subscribe if you can. BNN 50 deal gets you a $50 subscription. $50 for a one-year subscription at bronconationnews.com using that promo code BNN50 deal. We also have the $6.99 monthly option. If you're not able to subscribe, at least give us a YouTube follow and tell your friends, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that like button. Help us on the algorithms and things. But remember, if you are a yearly subscriber, you're eligible to win our VIP basketball experience to Las Vegas. Round trip for 2 on a private jet, 2 tickets to the game. We're going down to Las Vegas in February for the conference game. It's going to be a great conference game. You get to hang out at Circa, spend the night. Great dinner at Barry's, probably a limo ride or 2. We got a lot of cool stuff planned. This is the 3rd year we've done this, eligible to all yearly subscribers. So if you're on the fence, $50, get a little extra spending cash from Santa Claus this year. We'd love to have you join the BNN community. $50 for a 1-year subscription. BNN 50 deal is that promo code. And again, in addition to getting Mike Prater and myself and Nathan Carroll and all of our great content at Bronco Nation News, you also get, as a subscriber benefit, you are eligible to win the VIP basketball experience private jet trip for 2. And we appreciate Ridley's Family Markets and all of our great sponsors for sponsoring that trip. All right, got to get down to BSU. Got to finish packing. A lot going on today. Appreciate you guys. Go support the sponsors. Many of you see behind me, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Western Collective, all of our other great sponsors that aren't on the banner yet. But appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. We will talk to you live from San Jose tomorrow. We'll get Eric Chenander and the players posted to YouTube later today. If you missed it, Dirk Cutter, Ashton Genty, Maddox Madsen, they're all up on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. Go find those. Go, watch those. And if you're turn on your notifications if you're a member of our YouTube channel. And that way, as soon as we post a new video, you'll know that it's up there. So plenty of content getting dumped, by the hour onto the YouTube channel. And as I said, we'll get the football practice updates coming to my social media here shortly. We'll get the interviews up today, and then we'll head to San Jose, basketball and football coverage tomorrow as the team arrives and as the basketball team looks to go 2-0 in conference play tomorrow. So appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. Of course, as always, thanks to our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. All your painting needs, guys. Make sure you hit up our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. We'll talk to you later today, and then we'll talk to you from San Jose, 2 o'clock tomorrow with the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show as Boise State basketball hosts San Jose. Tons of football coverage, tons of basketball coverage. BroncoNationNews.com is the spot you need to be. Check it frequently. We're updating the videos, the stories, all that good stuff. Got a ton of coverage planned for both San Jose and Phoenix the next 4 days leading into the Fiesta Bowl. So thank you guys. Go subscribe if you can. Tell your friends, and we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News live from the Western Collective Studios. Again, join them for their watch party at for the Fiesta Bowl. If you're not going to the Fiesta Bowl, go check them out at the Western Collective Studios. And, of course, our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. My name is BJ Rains. Thanks to Jay Tust. Thanks to Brad Bedell. Thanks to Alex Guerrero. We'll see you guys in San Jose tomorrow. Then we'll see you in Phoenix for the Fiesta Bowl. Going to be fun.